Salut, David Wallimann here, and today I have to talk to you about bias effects. This is an app for the iPad, and it's made by Positive Grid. And Positive Grid has been doing this kind of thing for the last few years. They have done a lot of research. They have a few apps already out, and this, I believe, is the ultimate. In sound quality, it's incredible that all this is coming with the processing power of an iPad. I would never have imagined that the iPad could handle something like this. It's got tons of amps, tons of effects, which doesn't really say anything if they don't sound good, but this sounds absolutely incredible, especially for the price point. Actually, that's not even relevant. It doesn't matter at this point because it sounds so good. This sounds just like the real deal, basically, and it's absolutely incredible. Once this is open, I can see the signal chain that this particular preset is using. If I want to change presets, I can do that on the top left here, and there's a bunch of factory presets already made. This gives you a good representation of all the different types of tones that you can get, but this is just the starting point, of course. There's a lot more that we can do with that. So we'll pick this Dream Clean, and this shows you what is made of this Dream Clean. There's a certain number of effects. Some are active, some are not active. Right now we're going into modulation effects here, a stereo chorus. The stereo chorus is going into this 69 dual verb. Then we're going into a delay pedal and in a reverb. Now, if I want to remove one of these effects, I just drag the pedal, in this case the modulation flanger. I'm going to click it, drag it outside of the line, and now it is not active. If I want to completely remove that effect, I'm going to drag it to the trash right here. Now, if I want to add another effect, I'm going to click this plus sign here. This gives you a list of all the available effects. There's some gates, compression, boost, drive, equalizer, etc. In this case, let's add a delay. I'm going to go into the delay. I'm going to add a digital delay. Just going to click on my digital delay, and the delay has been added right here, and I can just drag this wherever I want. I'm going to add the delay right before the reverb, and I can make my settings automatically on the delay pedal. We're back in the edit mode, which shows you the full signal, and I want to show you this very useful feature of dual path. Our guitar here is going into a splitter, and this splitter is splitting the signal into two different signals. One is going into this channel 1 amp, 67 blackface, and the other one, channel 2, is going into 69 dual verb. Both these amps are going into a mixer. We're going to replace these two amps, which are kind of clean amps, into more rock amps. I'm going to double click on it. This brings the different amps available. On one side, right here, I'm going to put a plexiglass, which is kind of a Marshall tone. And on the other side, I'm going to double click and replace that with a British rock tone. And I'm going to go into the mixer. On the first channel, channel 1, which is my plexiglass, I'm going to move this all the way to the left. Channel 2, which is the British rock, all the way to the right. And now you're going to hear some differences. If I turn the volume of the first amp all the way down, you're only hearing the British rock, and this is going out of the right side. Move that to the left if I want to. All right, let's enable again the first amp, which is kind of a Marshall tone. Increase the volume here. And go into the British Rock. I'm going to increase the gain a little bit. And the plexiglass, I'm going to increase the mids. A little more gain. And go back into my mixer. I'm going to a little delay. I'm going to do that on the plexiglass, just a slight delay. Great. I'm going to add some reverb. I'm going to enable the reverb again. And that's how you can create a signal chain with two different amps, one left, one right. So I told you earlier that Bias Effects is completely compatible with their Bias app, which allows you to go inside of any amp and tweak it. I have Bias already installed on my iPad, and this is that little icon here. So I've got this amp selected. I'm going to click on the Bias. This is going to open the Bias app, and this will allow me to configure completely the amp and tweak it completely. So let's actually change this amp to something a little more bluesy. I'm going to use an American Tweed Lux right here. And I'm going to tweak this amp. I'm going to tweak it by changing the microphone. The mic model right now is C414. I'm going to change it to an SM57. I'm going to change the positioning. Put it a little outside of the cone. I can change anything really. I can change the tone stack. Right now it's a British crunch. I'm going to change that to an American tweed. I can change the cab if I want. Right now the cab that is being used is a Tweed Deluxe cab, a 1x12. We'll change that by, let's see what we have. Let's change that for a 4x10 Tweed bass. So we changed our amp here. We're going to go back into Bias Effects by clicking on this icon. And now the amp is being changed to whatever we configured. And we're going to add a compressor. Maybe a boost on the front. And you have a great blues sound. Let me now show you the live view, which is accessible right here on the bottom. If I click on this, it's kind of like a multi-effect. On the top, you're going to see your chain with the different pedals that are available. If I tap on one of these effects, it's going to enable it. You can tap it again to disable it. On the bottom here, there's a quick access to the four main effects used: the drive, the mods, modulations, the delays, and the reverb. So if I play something and I click on mod, it's going to enable all the mod effects on that particular patch. Same with all the other. And then you can switch between 4 different presets. It's great for when you're playing a song or playing a set list. You can just change, and the chain is going to change right away. But for those of you who don't need to go from preset to preset, this is still the best view, the pedal view, which is accessible right here. It shows you all the different effect pedals that are in front of you, the amp or the 2 amps if you're using a dual setup, and you can enable these pedals as you're playing just by clicking on them. You can make changes in real time to any of these components. And just click on it to bring the pedal in front. Once you're ready to save your preset, just click Save or Save As, and you can enter the name of your pedal that you want to use. If you have something really cool that you want to share with others, just click this icon right here, and you can share, write your description, and share it with anyone in the cloud. Anyone who has this app will be able to use the tone that you created. If I click on the cloud icon here, this is going to give you an overview of all the different tones that have been uploaded, and you can sample the sound automatically by clicking on it. If there's a sound that you like, you can just download it to your app. Included in the app is a tuner, and you can actually set the tuner to anything you want. It doesn't have to be the A440 tuning. You can set it to whatever. So if someone is a little bit off key, you can do that in the tuner. There's also a metronome, which allows you to practice with the app and also set the actual tempo of the preset you're working on. And this is great for delays. You can lock your delay to the tempo of a song. You can also tap your delay if you want to match the tempo of a backing track or something like that. And there's also general settings, which allows you to run into ultra low latency, and this is almost no delay at all when you're running the app. You can also select all the different options, such as log into the tone cloud, which allows you to download some of the sounds that have been previously recorded. You can also set the MIDI settings here, which allows you to control the app with a separate MIDI controller if you want to. When getting bias effects, I knew that I was most likely going to be pleased with the app. I've tried pretty much everything that Positive Grid has released, and I like their stuff. So I knew that I was in for a treat, but I didn't know to what extent. This is absolutely amazing. I've seen a bunch of reviews, a lot of videos. Everybody's talking about this. I had to try it. Part of me thought that, well, maybe it is some kind of marketing scheme. Maybe they're blowing this bigger than it really is. They're not. This is absolutely incredible. And the fact that it's powered by the iPad is really remarkable. Positive Grid has really gone deep into all the different models. The representation of these models is really accurate, and they made something not only that sounds really good, but very user-friendly. The different views that are offered in Positive Grid's bias effects are just thought for the guitar player. Also, the representation of these pedals is really, really cool. They really went into a detailed look for these pedals, and I know that look is not everything, but it makes the experience a lot more pleasant. Not only does it sound incredible, but it also looks good. It's like having the actual pedal in your hand and looking at it and just trying things out. This really encourages people to experiment with tones, and this, in addition to their bias app, combined with bias app, really gives you, guitar players, access to any tone that you want pretty much in the iPad. You can use this anywhere. This is not just for the traveling musician. I can totally see this in the studio. It's affordable, it's incredible, it sounds good. You should definitely check out Bias Effects and read all the reviews online. I'm not just saying that, everybody is saying that. So you should definitely check out bias effects. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like it. And if you have any questions on the app, leave them below. I'll try to answer. And you should really try out bias effects on your iPad. You're going to love it. I'll see you very soon on this channel. Until next time, salut.